Amir Khan's opponent for his comeback fight in Liverpool has been announced, and the opponent is a Canadian called Phil Greco. Greco is a fringe contender, I think it's fair to say, at best. He's campaigned at light middleweight. He's even campaigned as high as middleweight before. He's a southpaw. Some of his notable fights, which, 2 fights he lost, were a decision loss. I think it was in 2013 to Sean Porter, and a KO loss in about, 2-3 rounds to Errol Spence Jr. a couple of years ago. So those are his 2 most notable fights on his resume. Other than that, there's not many names you're going to recognize on Phil Greco's record. Ostensibly, he's not a big puncher, but given the fact that he's fought at higher weight divisions than 147, and this fight's going to be at 147, there still seems to be maybe an element of danger there because he's naturally quite a lot bigger than Amir Khan. But stylistically, he's a southpaw, and Khan historically has always performed very well against southpaws. He had a lot of experience when he was trained by Freddie Roach sparring Manny Pacquiao, and he obviously went on to beat people like Devon Alexander, who you'd have to imagine is better than this Greco character, Zab Judah. And Judah was, past his prime when he fought Amir Khan, but he still had some decent performances in him. You look what Zab Judah did in the Danny Garcia fight. He did better against Garcia than he did against Khan. He fought Lucas Matisse around that kind of time, and he did okay against Matisse. Khan just destroyed Zab Judah. So Khan is good against southpaws. Historically, he has been anyway. And I believe, or I suspect, that's part of the reason why Greco was chosen, because they know Khan seems to perform better against southpaws. And as I say, Greco doesn't seem ostensibly to be a big puncher, but Khan has got a bad habit of snatching defeat or near defeat from the jaws of victory. Even in his fights, which are supposed to be relatively easy for him, warm-up fights, etc., they end up turning into life and death. Another southpaw he defeated quite impressively was Louis Collazo. He, for my money, defeated Collazo more impressively than Keith Thurman did, for example. Even though it was a fight that went a distance, Khan and Collazo, I don't know, I just feel like he handled Collazo better than Thurman. Collazo bizarrely quit against Keith Thurman when he was doing quite well in that fight. He managed to hurt Thurman to the body and whatnot. Anyway, let me not get sidetracked. Khan versus this Greco guy. Some people are complaining. I've seen social media light up with people say, who the hell's Greco, and all this kind of stuff. Khan is coming back from a 2-year layoff and a devastating knockout defeat at the hands of Canelo Alvarez. For him to jump right back in there with a top-level fighter, a dangerous fighter, that would be foolishness beyond even what we can expect from somebody like Amir Khan, who has engaged in his fair share of foolishness over the years, as we all know. So even for someone like Khan, nah, jumping in with a high-level, dangerous fighter after 2 years off, coming off a devastating KO defeat, that would be madness. I know a lot of people just want to see Khan knocked out again, and that's why they're complaining. But those of you who can be maybe a little bit objective, and I know Khan's fights are fun because of the danger element that there is in there for him, but still, being realistic, come on, we can't expect Khan to go in there with anybody seriously dangerous in the circumstances that he's in. So for a comeback fight, this Greco character is acceptable as far as I'm concerned, under the circumstances. So yeah, let's see if Khan can come through without any hiccups. Let's see if there are any residual effects from the Canelo knockout loss, and let's see if there are any residual effects from the 2 years out the ring. It's always fun and games with Amir Khan. I remember when he came back against what's the guy called now? I forget his name. His brother used to train Tim Bradley. I've gone blank. You guys know who I'm talking about. The guy also fought Sean Porter twice. My mind's gone blank. He fought that guy. It was supposed to be a comeback fight. It was supposed to be relatively easy, and he ended up getting dropped and seriously hurt, and he was on them rubber legs and all that. Diaz, that's the one I'm thinking about. Diaz, yeah. When he fought Diaz, is it Julio? Yeah, it's Julio Diaz, isn't it? It's not Jose Diaz. Is Jose Diaz the trainer, the older brother who's blind in one eye, who used to train Tim Bradley? Yeah. So anyway, when he fought Julio Diaz, that was supposed to be a relatively easy fight. It turned out to be life and death for Amir Khan. Let's see if the Phil Greco fight turns out to be something similar. A lot of you guys are hoping that it will, but we'll see. It's going to take place April 21st in Liverpool. So let me know how you feel, people. It's happening. I'm out.